Good morning, third graders. It's Miss Munoz. And today we are on page 83 of your student journal. 83. Okay, today we're going to be continuing what we did yesterday. We're going to be working more with the distributive property and with area. So our objective or our goal for today's lesson is today I will use the distributive property to find area. So yesterday we actually used the distributive property, but we didn't look at it very closely. Today we're going to look at really what it is. So what the word distribute means is to pass out. So distribute actually means, and I'm going to write it over here, and remember green means you go with me. Everything I write you should write as well. So if you distribute something, it means you're passing them out. So at stores they distribute things. You could distribute newspapers or magazines, but I'm passing something out. So what happens in the distributive property is you're actually passing out factors, which factors are the numbers that are in a multiplication problem. So this doesn't give me a lot of room really to show it, so I'm going to write this over here where I have a little bit more room to work with. So I'm just going to copy this. So I have A times B plus C. Okay, so in the distributive property, what they do is they pass out my A to B. So I have A times B. So that's what I have, A times B. Plus, then I'm going to pass out or distribute my A to my C. So now I have A times C. That's what happens in the distributive property is you take this first factor and you pass it out to the ones on the parentheses. So sometimes I'll see it like this, and then sometimes they'll add parentheses around. Both of them mean the exact same thing. Okay, so what they've done is they've showed us the distributive property here with numbers. So what they gave us is very similar to this first formula, but they plugged in numbers. So 5 times 3 plus 8, but it followed this formula. Just like I did here, I'm going to copy it so I have some room to work with. So 5 times 3 plus 8. So they told us that this equals this, but how did they get there? Well, they took their first factor and they distributed it or passed it out. So now they get 5 times 3. Oh, I made a mistake, didn't I, ladies and gentlemen? Instead of a plus there, I put a times. Why don't you take a moment and fix that? You have a pencil, hopefully you could erase it. I don't have a pencil, so I'm gonna have to do it really big in my marker. Thank you for being so flexible and giving me grace for my mistake. Okay, so now let's get back on track. So I multiplied 5 times 3 plus, okay, now I'm going to distribute or pass out my 5 to my 8. So I have 5 times 8. And that is how they got this answer here. 5 times 3 plus 5 times 8. And again, sometimes they put the parentheses and sometimes they don't. So today that's what we're going to be practicing with our area. Okay, I just picked up my red pen, so you could put down your pencil. And let's look at my first problem. So my first problem, says, what is the total area of the shape? Fill in the blanks to find the area. Okay, so what they've given me is 6 times something plus 6 times something. Well, where did this 6 comes from? Well, if I notice, this first one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that 6 is its length. So remember, when I find area, I need length. Area equals length times width. So my length was 6. What is my width of this first shape? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I just wanted the first one. Plus, now they're going to find the area of my second shape. So 6 must have been its length also, because it's 6 long. But what is this shape's width, this rectangle? Well, I'll do it down here so I don't get confused. 2, 3, 4, 5. So this shape's area is 6 times 4, length times width, and this one is 6 times 5, which is length times width. So I can solve, you remember those carrots we talked about a few lessons ago? If I don't know this basic fact, then I need to do an array, but I know 6 times 4 is 24. You also could have come over here and counted them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Plus, okay, 6 times 5 is 30. So those two should equal the area of the entire rectangle. And if I can't add those, I could maybe find some area to do a side work. Side work's when we move to the side to solve something. And I'm getting 24 plus 30 is 54. This looks like my measurement is units. And remember, area is always squared. Okay. This one they're going to give to us a little differently, okay? Now they're going to kind of give it to us like they did in our problem over here, where notice how we had the first factor and then the times and then the ones that were shared. That's what it looks like they're giving us here. So what factor do they both share? Well, they both share 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because this is the same picture as we had above. So they are both, if I look at both of those rectangles, they're both 6 in my length. Because remember, my area, I can put my formula there to help me, is area is length times width. So they both have a 6. But this one had, remember, a width of 4. And this one had a width of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So do you see how those are pretty similar? This one I pulled out the 6, and then I had my factors 4 plus 5. Okay, so they're showing us a different way to solve this problem. So look at where the caret is this time. The caret this time is saying 4 plus 5 is 9. So what is 6 times 9? Well, that's kind of a more challenging one to solve, but we already figured it out up here. 6 times 9 is 54. I also know my basic facts. Or I could have counted them, or I could have drawn an array. My measurement is units, and area is always squared or square units. Okay, I am putting down my red pen and grabbing my green pen, so please pick up your pencil. And please turn to page 84 so we can try some together. Okay, so what do we have here? What is the total area of the shape? Fill in the blanks to find the area. Okay, so they both have a 3 in them. So where's that 3 coming from? I think it's the 3 here and the 3 here. So what is the missing side for this one? Because remember, our area is length times width. So, and remember we talked about the commutative property. It looks like they put 1 here, so I need to find the missing one is 3. And here on this one I have 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4. So here that looks like they put the width times the length, but we are allowed to do that. Okay, so let's do our carets. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 3 times 4 is 12. So what is 9 plus 12? 9 plus 12 is 21. And my measurement is units, and area is always squared. Okay, Now this one, they're giving us the exact same problem. They just want us to write it a little bit differently. So this digit is going to be, which one number did they share? So which one did they share? They both shared the 3. So we can put the 3 there. And then this one had a 3 as its other number, and this one had a 4 as its other number, or other factor, we could call it. Okay? So we have 3 times 4, 3 plus 4. If I say 3 plus 4 is 7, and then I have 3 times 7, I get 21. Okay, and again, I could have done my array, or I could have counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I could have done different things to get my 21. My measurement is units, and area is always squared. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I want you to work on, you actually have 3 pages today, page 85, 86, and 87. So remember, you can look back at your example to help you, or you could even look back at the video to help you. All right, boys and girls, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.